Dude, you know what I've missed?
What?
More than anything in the world.
Tell me.
Sitting across the table from you and talking about life and stuff and putting it on the internet for people to listen to it.
I know, man. It's been a long time.
Let's get after it. Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing. God is good.
It's been a minute.
And we are not. But God is so good that we are loved. And through his justice and through his goodness, he took care of our sin by placing it on his son, Jesus, so that we could have relationship with him. See, left to our own devices, man, we're some bad apples. We're some rotten scoundrels. We are sinners, y'all. But there is living proof that God can take what is bad and make it good. He's not finished until our tree is flourishing.
Yes.
We're here to talk about it all. The rise, the fall, the faith, the fear, the good, the bad, the wins, the losses, life, love, and all of the above. And we're here to have fun while we do it.
Oh, yeah, we are.
This is the Bad Apples Podcast. Let's go.
Yes.
Man.
Dude, I've missed that. I've missed
all-
that intro track. I've missed sitting over here talking with you.
Dude, thousands of people have missed it.
Thousands.
Thousands, man.
Thousands. No, for real, it's been a long summer.
It's been, yeah.
It's been a long summer.
Yeah, it's been a long summer. And it's been a great summer. It's been a good
It
summer.
has.
It's been a good summer. It's been a great summer.
Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Man. Hey, just so that like, you know, last time we recorded an episode of this podcast, we didn't know who was running for president.
That is true. Well, we thought it was Joe.
Well, we thought it was Joe. And then women's basketball still wasn't a big deal, but now it is.
Oh,
you know,
thanks to Caitlin Clark.
and Angel Reese. I think
And
it's
Angel
just as
Reese.
important you have a good villain as you do a good hero.
That is
and it depends
true.
on which side of the coin you're on.
That
There's
is
plenty
true.
of people out there who think that Caitlin Clark is just overrated.
Yeah, it's like the
So-
women's Bird and Magic.
Yeah, that's right.
Man.
Yeah. No, and
Wow.
you know, the
I
Olympics
still don't
haven't
watch it.
happened yet. No, I don't watch it either. I watch it sometimes when it's on at Tim and Kaylee's house, but you know, Kaylee hasn't missed a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Wow.
real. She watches all of them. But,
All right.
yeah, so no, man, it's been a long time.
Yeah, dude.
It's been a long time,
Since
and so
May.
it's good to catch up. But man, you got the biggest of all big news.
I do.
Yeah.
Dude, that is right. I got a case knife.
Oh, come on now. What is a case knife?
Are you serious?
I don't know what a
The
case
brand
knife.
case?
Like IH? Like
C-A-
Case International
C-A-
Harvester?
CASE.
Okay.
Case. The brand.
I don't know anything about Case.
Bro. Let's just
Is it better than Benchmade?
I mean, yeah, it's just so classic, American made. So, like growing up, like if you had a case knife, and then like my dad's generation, if you had a case knife,
Oh, yeah.
you had the pocket knife.
You had what about a buck knife?
I mean, buck knives are great too. But like, man, I just realized the other day, I've never had a case knife in my life. And I
at
said,
you.
by God, I'm going to change that. And I did.
You got a case knife.
Yeah.
And that's your biggest news of the
It's
summer.
made from bone, okay?
Come on now.
And it is Kentucky bluegrass green.
Tell the people what the real big news
Yeah,
is.
the real big news is, man, I got engaged.
Yes,
bro.
you did.
I got engaged to Kia,
Yep.
who has been on the podcast before.
Yep.
And so we got engaged last Tuesday. If you're listening to when this releases, it'll be almost 2 weeks ago.
Oh, my goodness.
And we got engaged, and man,
And the wedding's already planned.
the wedding is pretty much already planned. Which, dude, I think this is extremely fitting. And I really wanted to do this, and I really wanted to do it on the podcast. But I wanted to ask you face to face on the podcast, will you be my best man?
Oh, dude, of course I'll be your best man.
Yes, I knew you would say yes.
Oh, yeah. Definitely say yes.
Awesome, dude. Awesome.
Man, I'm pumped.
I was like, what's a cool way to ask him? I was like, man, I'm going to ask him on the podcast.
What if I'd have said no, though?
That would have been awkward. That would have been pretty
Hey,
awkward.
do I get a speech?
Oh, bro. Of course you do.
Okay, all right. As long as I get a speech, it's all right.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely.
So, yeah.
My brother was my best man at my last wedding,
Oh, okay.
and he didn't give me a speech. So I need a speech, man.
I'll give you twice the speech.
Let's get it.
Double speech.
Let's get it.
I'm super honored to be your best man,
dude. That's awesome.
Super
I'm honored to have you, man.
So
dude, it's been so fun. It's been great. It's just I got the ring and
we're so giddy.
I was so giddy, and I'm not good at holding gifts anyway.
No, you're not.
So,
oh man,
as soon as I got it, I was like, I've got to do it now.
Yeah, right. That's what you told me.
Yeah.
You sent me a picture of the ring box, and you're like, "Can I just do it now?" I'm like,
yeah.
No, man, you got a good plan.
Yeah.
Don't wreck your plan.
And I didn't have a great plan.
Oh, you had a good plan.
It was a good plan. It was a good plan. It wasn't a great plan.
No, but your second plan
was much better.
Yeah, what you actually ended up doing was real good.
Oh, dude, yeah. And what's funny is I didn't plan it. I just showed up. I had friends that planned it.
Oh, well,
and I mean, goodness, it was awesome.
Way to go, friends.
I know, man. I know. And if you're listening, you don't know how I did it. I surprised Kia at work. She works at the elementary building in my same district, and I had her little pre-K kids hold up a sign that said, "Will you marry me?" And I surprised her, and she was extremely surprised.
Yeah.
And that was everything, man.
Did she cry?
She did cry.
Like a lot?
Not a lot, but
okay.
She did cry, and it was amazing.
Yeah. That's super cool. Did you cry?
I did.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I cried leading up to it a lot.
Oh, I bet you did.
But
you held it down in the moment. I saw the video.
I did. I held it down in the moment.
Yeah.
Because I had cried a lot that morning. So I thought I was cried out.
Oh, man.
But then when she started crying, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm crying. And I was super nervous. And I knew she was going to say yes.
Well, it's nerve. I mean, it's a big thing. Mm-hmm. It's a big thing. It's the magnitude of the moment. It's not whether or not she was going to say yes or no.
That's true. It was a big moment.
Yeah, it's a big moment. It's something you will talk about the rest of your life.
Yeah, and it was like, not only was it a big moment for me, but like there was like school rooms like watching, and then like teachers had come out, and like it was just a big grand moment.
Oh,
and it was just cake and flowers
and people.
Dude, a professional photographer was there.
Dude,
the district's photographer was there, and posted about us on Facebook and everything.
Smooth move. I was so young when we got engaged. I didn't think about professional photographer,
right,
or like anybody just like taking a picture. But thankfully, some random person in Starbucks took a picture of us.
That's awesome.
And just, it's one of my favorite pictures.
Yeah, man.
So yeah.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. Yeah. It's been incredible. It's been a great week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
To Cody and Kia.
Congratulations to you for being my best man.
Hey, man, I'm pumped about it. That means I get to plan the bachelor party.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, man, we're going to be coming to you live from the bachelor party on the Bad Apples podcast.
There you go. No strippers allowed.
No, of course not. We're not that podcast, baby.
We're not that podcast.
Or those guys.
Yeah,
we're just not those kind of men. For real, we're not. We love the Lord.
Yes, thank you,
and
Jesus.
Respect women as individual people.
Absolutely, we do.
Anyway.
Amen.
Quick disclaimer there.
Yeah.
So, all right, you got engaged. I know that there's a lot of other things in summer.
Yeah, man.
And you got a case knife, which apparently was like life-changing, revolutionary moments.
Amazing.
So what I thought we would do, since we haven't been together for a really long time, I think our people want to know what we've been up to, what we've learned, what kind of wisdom we've gleaned from our summer.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so we talked about like these 5 ideas, these 5 little things that help us summarize the summer, the summer summaries.
Ooh, that was catchy.
Yes, that's it. And just 5 ways to think about your summer and like boil it down. I got to be honest with you though. Can I tell you a secret? Like, it's not really a secret. Mm-hmm. But I don't really like the summer,
dude. I don't either.
Yeah, like there's things about the summer I like, but there's a lot about the summer that it's just exhausting.
It's hot too,
and it's hot.
It's hot. This summer's
so
been hot.
Yeah, and now this summer I don't feel like has been as hot as other summers.
Yeah,
but it
got hot.
It gets hot, and so I'm not like the biggest fan of summer, but when you compare it to the other seasons, is it better than winter? Yeah.
No, man.
Oh, dude, for sure.
Summer don't have Christmas, bro.
Winter doesn't have Christmas. That's fall.
What?
It's basically fall.
December 21st is like the solstice, so it's technically winter.
Barely.
But
it barely squeaks in.
Technically.
Yeah, winter needed that, but it peaks at that point, but then after that, it's not good.
Oh, no, after Christmas, it sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, there's nothing.
You're just trying to do New Year's resolutions.
You watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah, starving yourself.
Yeah, eating chocolate at Valentine's
Fantasy
Day.
football's over.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, lots of things stink.
After Christmas, it's just...
It really is. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I get
Taxes are due.
Oh, gosh.
Just the worst things. And then springtime is like the ultimate fake out. It's like it's nice one day. No, it's not. It's nice one day, but, man, it's going to rain the whole time.
That's true.
It's sunny outside, but it's freezing, you know.
That's true.
Yes, that's the way that this spring works.
Especially in Illinois.
Yeah. Hey, I planned another cruise. Did I tell you this? I can't remember if I talked to you about this.
I think you said you were going to.
Yeah, we are. We're going in March. So when it super sucks in March, guess who's going to be on a cruise?
You're going to be in where?
We're going to be in the Bahamas.
Ooh.
And in Key West.
All right. You did tell me about this. Yeah. I remember this.
Yeah, man. It's going to be great. Super excited about it. So, anyhow.
Fall is the best.
Yes. No arguments. Fall is the absolute best.
Everybody always talks about fall as like everything's dying, everything's falling, the leaves are falling, it's the transition. But there's a lot of things that come back to life in the fall.
Yeah, like me,
Football.
My wardrobe.
Yep.
Flannels.
Pumpkin spice frappes.
Yeah, man. Dude, I'm a pumpkin.
Basketball. You know, the World Series. Come on now.
And who cares about basketball?
I do.
NHL comes back, though.
That's true.
That's right.
But, bro, I am now a national champion.
Oh, come on.
The Boston Celtics have won a championship since we last talked.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I don't actually follow that, so I thought it was maybe the Lakers.
I prayed so hard for this. Forget you.
Come on.
I take back my best man. I feel like I was on that court, bro.
Oh, jeez. Oh, gosh.
Man.
Is that how you watch the Olympics, too? Is you like...
No, bro, I hate the Olympics.
Why?
There's not a sport in the Olympics I like.
Basketball.
I don't even watch that because it's Olympics.
Olympics. It's Olympics.
I don't like it.
Oh, come on now. You don't...
So political.
You don't get... the Olympics?
You know what, man? It's so controversial.
What are you talking about? What's controversial?
Any of the controversy
that they excluded Russia.
Here's the thing,
for
man.
being mean to Ukraine.
I'm tired of them making fun of Jesus. You hear me?
All right. We're not that podcast. Hey, five questions to summarize your summer. I thought.
Can we talk about breakdancing though?
Dude, I didn't watch a bit of that except for that. They've clipped that girl from Australia.
Rachel,
I don't
Rachel
know
something,
and she's just like
terrible. God love her heart.
Oh my
God bless you, sister.
That poor
God
girl.
bless you.
This is all she can be known for the rest of her life.
Yeah, dude. And she had to like get on. She had to make a video and like apologize or
not apologize. She asked that people would quit making fun of her.
Yeah, stop making fun of her.
Hey, girl, I don't know if you went to public school or not, but the way you get people to make fun of you more is saying, "Hey, would you please stop?" Yeah, no, that's
yeah. I doubled down after that. I'm sure.
Gosh. Yeah, I know that bullying is outlawed now in school.
It is,
but when we grew up,
the
originators of people that are on TikTok and Instagram Reels. Let's be real, the Instagram Reels.
Yeah.
They're going to keep coming after you, lady.
Yeah. By the way, I just got your 1,100 Instagram Reels you sent me.
My Instagram, I think my Instagram Reel feed is the funniest thing in the world.
It is. I sit there and I watch them all. And
Did you see the one with the raccoon?
Absolutely.
Oh, my gosh. That one was so good.
I just laughed so hard at it. So I've been taking like kind of weekly like sabbaticals from social media,
or
for some social media, like Instagram stuff. But when I get back on and check it, I got like so many messages from Garrett and my other friend Matt, who's been on the podcast before. But
oh man,
it's so funny watching going through them all. It's pretty cool. It's my own personalized Garrett feed.
It's You get some dog stuff. You get a lot of raccoon things.
I for some reason the porta potty to the moon took me out.
Oh my god!
It took me out.
Oh yeah.
No,
there's some funny ones. And Emily's really big. I can't remember this guy's name. It's this dude that most of his funniest ones are when he's pretending to be the camera guy for like viral videos.
Right.
And so, have you seen that I can't move on guy?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, the guy who's like, I can't move on, yelling at the camera.
Yes.
And my favorite has been the drive where somebody else pretends to be a drive-through worker and is like, just standing there with his bag. Anyway, I
love it.
Anyway, first question.
Okay.
The moment you laughed, or a moment that you laughed super hard this summer.
Okay.
You got a moment, something that tickled your funny bone so good that you about wet your pants. I can go first if you need a minute.
Yeah, go first.
Do you remember the classic Beverly Hills Ninja?
With
Chris Farley.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. It got a lot of hate in the press.
Right.
No, nobody liked it.
Yeah.
It apparently is on Netflix.
Okay. Yeah.
And so
it is.
when we were in Minnesota with the high school kids on a mission trip, the boys liked to do a movie night in our side of the cabin. And it was my turn to pick the movie. You best believe I was going to educate them boys on Chris Farley and just the wonders that is the Beverly Hills Ninja. And the opening credits, like the opening scenes where he's like trying to become a ninja and he's surrounded by all these other ninjas and he just keeps screwing up. I about wet my pants. I about wet my pants in front of these boys. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
And like they're like, that one of them was recording me. He's like, I don't get it. Why is this so funny? I'm like, you guys just have no idea. Because back in that time, it was okay to make fun of fat kids.
Yes.
And they did.
Sure.
And they did. They made fun of him. And it was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was and it was slapstick ridiculousness. So if you go and watch Beverly Hills Ninja, you may think it's just the dumbest thing in the world. And you probably will. But man, I don't know, that moment, it could have also been I was super overwhelmed that week. But like listening or watching I've been hanging out with Cody too much already. Watching it.
Only been together 30 minutes.
Listen, I've been watching in that show. And, anyway, dude, I was dying. I was absolutely dying, and the kids thought there was something wrong with me.
Dude, it's been many years since. Now I have the movie saved to my list, but it's been so many years since I've actually watched it. I now need to go watch it because that was a classic, man. Coming on TNT as a kid, just I love that movie, Tommy Boy, and then Black Sheep. Like these classics.
Those scenes too, where he's like ascending to the clouds, being with his sensei. He's like, oh my gosh, just classic Chris Farley. But anyway, that movie in that moment cracked me up so bad, and it's the hardest I've ever laughed in front of a bunch of kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's a wholesome story.
It was, and they're like, we didn't know that you could get that way. I'm like, oh, fellas,
what a great moment then.
Yeah, I'm a real human being. All right, go ahead. You got it.
So I'm going to go with a moment that just happened on our trip. So we went on a very quick West Virginia trip, me and Kia, and actually we took her mom.
Okay.
And my mom got to meet her mom.
Cool.
For the first time, and some of my family, Deb got to meet.
Yeah.
And on the way back, Kia was so tired, and she was trying to sleep, and I had some music on, and we were just talking, and Kia was trying to sleep, and I noticed, I look over as me and Deb were talking, I look over, and Kia has somehow, somewhere, found earplugs. And she had put earplugs in, and I looked over and I just saw, and I feel like she had even like positioned herself to like, hey, look at my ear. There's earplugs in it.
Oh,
because Kia is so nice, so she's not going to say.
She's signaling to you,
right? She's not going to say, hey, I'm stop talking.
Oh yeah.
So I actually just lose it. I'm driving, and
you're probably just tired enough that something like a little bit funny just became the most hilarious thing that's ever happened to you.
and I'm wheezing laughing, and I can't breathe, and then finally like Kia kind of looks up, and I see that the earplugs are gone, and then she like makes a statement like, yeah, I'm just uncomfortable and I can't really go to sleep. And when she said that, I just knew that she was trying to hint, and I lose it again. So I'm like, I can't breathe. I'm crying from laughing so hard. Are
you swerving at this point?
I'm swerving. My eyes are completely closed. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to die. Her mom is trying to help her get comfortable because she believes that it's really the comfort thing that's really bothering her. Well,
come on, Dad, where you at?
Kia, she looks at me. She says, I don't know why it's so funny. Just so calm and nice. She wasn't mean about it.
Oh,
she was just like, I don't know what's so funny. And when she said that, I kind of straightened up a little bit, but then I just thought about it again, and I went straight back in to dying laughing because I just knew, we're talking too much, and she's not telling us, hey, shut up.
Yep.
And finally, she like popped up. She was like, well, I'm awake now. And we didn't stop laughing for 30 minutes.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Well, enjoy that while it lasts.
Yes, I will.
Year 2 being married, she's going to be like, listen, you're stupid. Yeah. Just stop. Eventually.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, eventually she's getting to the point. She's like, my patience is over. Yeah. And y'all, if you need to know what it's like to listen to Cody just belly laugh.
Yeah.
And act an absolute fool while he's laughing. What episode was that? Oh, it was one of the Christmas ones. Probably. It was when you were telling the story about your Christmas miracle poop. That's the one. If you want to listen to what that probably was like, you need to go back. That's the most hysterical I've ever seen you on this. Yeah. I was a little worried you quit breathing. Actually, you did quit breathing. You turned purple.
I do quit breathing when I laugh, which I actually panicked. On the drive, when I was laughing, I panicked because I couldn't breathe and I couldn't get my...
Yeah, you're trying to drive.
I couldn't get my, breath.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
I get it.
Yeah, dude.
All right, so that was question 1.
Yeah.
Question number 2. I'm going to let you lead on this one.
Okay. What is this? What is it?
Is it something that surprised you?
Something that surprised you.
Something that surprised you this summer.
Okay. Something that surprised me this summer. Well, this was the first time as an adult that I didn't work. Okay.
Yeah.
That was a little surprising.
Okay.
I didn't have to work. I was good. I had put enough money back and was able to make it through the summer and not have to worry and be fine.
Way to go.
Okay. So that was amazing. But what surprised me was I kept a really good, early morning routine, daily routine.
Nice.
I kept a really good schedule, and it actually really helped me going back into work. In college.
Nice.
Yeah, so that really surprised me because, man, I just want to rest and do nothing.
Oh, I get it.
And I was really worried that was going to happen this summer, that I was going to actually just fall into sleep until 9 and doing nothing all day and not really have good routines and habits. But that's exact opposite of what happened.
Dude, I love that. Absolutely love that for you.
Yeah, it was really nice. And also it helped me rest more. So now I'm sleepy by 10, which is a miracle, dude.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, as we record this, we're getting closer and closer to 10.
That's okay.
So I should probably get going on mine.
This is worth it.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
I think what surprised me, so at the very beginning of the summer, I bought my father-in-law's truck. And so I am now an owner of a truck. It's a Dodge Ram 1500.
Dodge Ram.
And there's a couple things that surprised me.
You got a Dodge Ram Hemi.
It does have a Hemi.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. Listen, man. All right. I am proud of my truck. Yeah. And I did not realize how quickly I would become a pompous truck owner.
Oh, I knew you would.
Just quickly.
Yeah.
So much so. I look down on other trucks for not being real trucks. Oh, my gosh. It was so fast. I'm like, that ain't truck. That ain't truck. Look at that bed.
That's not a real man's truck.
That's got a 4-foot bed on it. That ain't a truck. That's it. Come on now. So that's number one. The other thing that surprised me is how often I use the truck. I'm not somebody who does manual physical labor. That's not my jam. Right. I'm a youth pastor.
Yeah.
But I use that truck all the time. I use the bed of the truck all the time. Bro, it's
why wouldn't you?
At least once a week, I have a practical application for this truck. And
that's awesome.
I've always had a truck at my disposal.
Right.
Through other people that I know that have a truck.
Yeah.
And, I never ask them for it.
Yeah.
Because it's I can make do with what I got. And I'm over here thinking, the other day, I went to Sam's to pick up an order for the church with cases of soda and whatnot. I'm like, how in the world did I do this before? Did I take 2 trips? No, what I did is I stacked it in the passenger seat, in the back seat, in the trunk, everywhere. It went everywhere.
God made a way.
Oh my goodness. But now it's magic.
Now
it is absolutely magic. When I get the girls out of the truck, I take them out of the truck and I set them in the bed so they don't run off. You know how nice that is? It's
That's
like
amazing.
riding around with a playpen. It's like you just take them out and you just set them in the bed of the truck. Guess what? They can't go nowhere. And they're kind of afraid to, because if they do get out of the truck bed, they're going to fall on their face. And so, like, I set them in the truck bed and they're like, woo, this is fun. And, like, so the first time I got a really great video of them dancing in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I am surprised at how much I use the truck, like for what the truck is actually meant to be used for.
Right, man.
I'm surprised that I quickly became like the stereotypical truck owner.
That doesn't shock me.
Oh man, like it's like, hey, are you moving? You moving something? Dude, I got you. Hey, do you know I have a truck and I have straps? All right,
I'm gonna be calling you,
dude, for real though. If you don't call me, I'm gonna be disappointed. The other day, and what's nice about this truck too is it's nice enough that I'm not embarrassed to loan it out to people, but it's not so nice that I'm terrified to loan it out to people.
Okay.
And so, like, there were some people the other day that they needed to move the locker from the church that was part of the display to the Hoagland, the downtown.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get it in their car. I was like, dude, just take my truck.
Just take my truck.
Just take my truck.
Take my truck.
Are you sure? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sure.
That's so American, dude.
Dude, I never felt more helpful in my entire life.
Yeah.
When I toss them the keys, I'm like, hey, just be careful parking it.
That's awesome.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Drove it here tonight. And the thing is,
you did.
I was going to keep my Honda Civic because I thought, it would be nice to have something that's practical. It's good gas mileage.
Yeah.
You know how often I drove that Civic in the 3 months that I had the Civic in the truck?
How much?
Twice. 2 times.
There you go, man.
2 times.
Truck is much more practical.
Oh, it's not more practical. It's just more comfortable. And I feel like a man.
There you go.
Anyway, I'm surprised.
We both became men this summer.
I got a
case knife. You got a truck.
And you still got that Subaru. Don't you forget.
And I still have the Subaru. It's still kicking.
That's right, baby. All right. So that was question number 2. Question number 3 was your greatest discovery this summer.
Well, I'm going to give you a non-serious answer.
Okay.
Buc-ee's.
Okay.
Buc-ee's was my greatest discovery.
That was your greatest discovery this summer.
Greatest discovery because here I am. I'm on my way to Tennessee to meet Kia's grandmother and her father and his wife.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to Crossville, Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
Kia says, there's nothing there. There's nothing in Crossville, Tennessee.
Oh, but there is.
Don't be excited.
Oh, but there is.
And I said, we're driving through Tennessee. I wonder if we're going to be going past a Buc-ee's. So I Google it. You know what I discover?
In Crossville, Tennessee?
In Crossville, Tennessee.
Oh, I bet you I know what it is.
There's a brand new Buc-ee's.
Oh, a brand new one, baby.
And it was amazing, dude.
Yeah. I've been to one Buc-ee's.
I loved it, man.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I like Wally's too, but
I love Wally's.
I mean, Buc-ee's is just so much more southern.
It is so much more southern.
So much more southern.
It's huge.
And it's in your face.
It's in your face.
Yeah.
You know what? I thought Buc-ee was a squirrel. He's actually a beaver.
Yeah, he's a beaver.
I thought he was a squirrel.
You thought he was a squirrel
until I got there, and I said, "This guy's actually a beaver."
Okay.
And then I didn't know that.
Now you know. The more you know.
That I discovered that as well.
What?
That he was a beaver and not a squirrel.
Hey, there you go. That's your greatest discovery.
That's my greatest discovery. Actually. Yeah, it is.
Man, I don't know. I don't really have a great one here. I'm very disappointed. As the one who came up with the questions, you'd think I'd have better answers.
That's true. That's true. Come on, man.
So I'm going to rapid fire here. A couple discoveries. Things that I learned this summer that are just like helpful little life hacks for you. Number 1. If you've been listening to our podcast for any length of time, you know that a Blackstone is maybe the single best investment of your dollars.
Okay.
Because we've talked about that.
Right.
At length.
Right.
A number of times. And a flat top grill, that's fine. I'm not that pious, pompous to think that you have to have an actual Blackstone. I mean, a flat top grill, change your life.
Sure.
Here's one of the things I discovered this summer with the flat top grill. Number 1, jambalaya on the flat top grill. Best thing in the world. I mean, yes, go take the box mix. I'm not talking about like something revolutionary. Go take the box mix, make the rice and such on the stove, but then take your Blackstone.
Right.
And get your shrimp and your sausage and your chicken, and you take your Creole seasoning. You hit it with all that stuff, and then you throw on the Holy Trinity. Your green peppers and your onions and your celery. You throw all that stuff on there. Oh, dude, you start moving all that stuff together. You start hibachi in that stuff. You get it all ready, and you're going to have the best jambalaya you've ever had. You throw down the rice, and then you just it's like kind of like a Chipotle bowl. You just throw in the meat that you want. You throw in the veggies that you want, you know. And then if you're like us, you take a big old piece of cornbread, drop it on top. Dude.
Man, that sounds amazing.
That's the first great discovery on the Black Stone. But the easier one, this is like life hack. Best thing.
I need a life hack.
And this is super easy.
Okay.
You got a Blackstone, right?
Yeah.
All right. All you do, you go in, you take some steak. Doesn't need to be nice steak.
Right.
Just some steak. Okay. You chop it real small. Throw it on the Blackstone. You season it up with some like Fiesta seasoning of some sort. Not taco seasoning, but like you'll get yourself a Fiesta seasoning. Hit it with some of that. You get it all on there. Get it a little bit charred. Not too much charred, just a little bit char.
Yeah.
Scoop it up. Throw it off. All right. Then all you're going to do, wipe it down. Take your corn tortillas. It's important. It's corn.
Got to be corn.
Put your corn tortillas on there. Okay. Let them heat up on both sides. Throw those on the plate. Then all you got to do, that steak that you just made.
Right.
Some fresh chopped white onion.
Okay.
Cilantro.
Yeah.
And lime.
That sounds
like
amazing.
lime wedges.
That sounds
best
amazing.
tacos you'll ever have.
Man.
And that's it. That's all it is. There's no special sauce. There's no sour cream.
Okay.
There's no cheese. I mean, if you do want to do cheese, it's that crumble cheese, that stuff that it comes in a wheel, and you're like, what is this?
Right.
It's crumble cheese. Crumble cheese is the best. Anyway, you do all that, change your life. Those are my two like discoveries this year as far as, and I would be lying if I told you I didn't have that once a week. Dude, all summer long.
So, like, here's my thing with the Blackstone. I love the product that comes off of the Blackstone, but I really, really, really hate it for the cleaning.
Oh, but dude, the cleaning's easy.
To me, it's not, man.
Okay, but with what's nice about the tacos that I just told you about, you have to do the cleaning to do the tortillas.
Yeah.
And so after you're done, guess what? You're done. Because you just scraped off all the gunk off the thing for the steak.
Yeah.
You throw on the tortillas. It's going to soak up some of that grease and some of that flavor. And you just flip it over.
Flip that thing over.
Yeah, man. It's so good. My only problem with the Blackstone is I don't like to cover it. And so it gets wet. And when it gets wet, it gets rusted. And then I have to reseason it.
I have to reseason, man. I got my reseasoning over there. Probably have to reseason it now. But
anyway, that's
greatest discovery.
Dude, that's like for real. Those tacos, the first time I made them, I told Emily, I'm like, it's embarrassing how easy this is.
Yeah.
And how cheap. I mean, you know, you go and get the on sale steak that nobody wants.
Right.
Slice and dice, baby.
We did some meal prep on it one Sunday night. Dude, some of the best chicken ever. And it was so easy, so cheap. And both me and Kia had dinner for the rest of the week.
Yeah. What kind of chicken was it? Just like grilled chicken, or did you guys do something special?
I had just chicken thighs, and she had something different. She cooked it on she cooked it on her end. She had some recipe, but I just grilled some chicken thighs and then had it for the rest of the week. It was amazing.
Yeah. Last discovery.
Yeah.
The hack of just leaving a cooler in your trunk.
Yeah. All right.
Now, one of the parts of being just a pompous truck owner is I let a cooler live in the back of my truck. Now, it did lead to a lot of people be like, hey, is there a bunch of beer in there? No, I'm not riding around with beer. People might take it.
You just need it, man.
Exactly.
You just need the cooler.
It's nice to have that cooler.
Yeah,
you know? Go get some ice cream, toss it in the cooler.
Have it in the cooler. Groceries.
You go get that steak that you just bought for them tacos, throw it in the cooler. That's what I'm saying. You got to have that cooler in the back.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like that.
And anymore, you go to Aldi, guess what? They ain't giving you bags for free.
No.
Sam's, they ain't giving you bags.
Not anymore.
No.
Not anymore, man.
No. So you got to have that cooler to put that stuff in.
And you got it.
Exactly.
It's
all
in
right.
there.
So those are my 2, 3, whatever big discoveries.
Okay.
Next question.
We're
going to make a turn here.
Okay.
What did you learn about yourself this summer?
Man, this was a tough one for me because I guess it may go hand in hand with my biggest surprise, which was that I kept a routine. I kept a daily routine and I kept a schedule. I think what I learned about myself was I work so much better. I feel so much better. I rest so much better when I'm getting up early, when I'm really sticking to a routine, when I'm really sticking to a schedule, when I really have that, like so I guess what I learned about me was I'm much more better. I'm a better me when I'm structured rather than resting in a way that's lazy and not doing anything. Like a lot of times I thought being a vegetable and just doing nothing was resting, but I found that doing things actually brought me rest.
Oh yeah.
So I think that I guess that would be my answer.
No, that's super deep. It jives with a book that I just got done listening to.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about it later.
Yeah. Okay.
In a different episode.
Yeah.
But The Rule of Life, it's by I can't remember, Justin Whitmell Early or something like that. Anyway,
sure.
He talks about Sabbath, and he talks about how Sabbath isn't just not doing; it's doing the right things to help you rest.
Dude, that's it.
And
that's it.
And he's like, what he says, and it's actually not him that says it. He quotes somebody else, but it's this idea that if you work with your hands, Sabbath with your head. If you work with your head, Sabbath with your hands. And it's this idea of, if you're somebody who your 9 to 5 grind all week long is, in front of the computer doing, doing creative work, doing something like that, where you're doing a lot of intelligent work.
Right.
You're sitting for most of your job.
Yep.
Maybe the best thing for you on your rest day is to go out and do something with your hands.
Absolutely.
And then if you're somebody who your grind is you're working with your hands all day, every day, maybe the best thing you can do to feed your soul and help yourself rest is read a book. Man. Do something still.
Wow.
So
that was actually my second discovery was I started a Sabbath. I discovered a Sabbath.
Was that what God's teaching you?
No.
Okay, don't get ahead of the questions here. Okay, all right.
I'm not.
All right.
But
yeah,
I forgot
sure you're following the rules.
I forgot to mention that second discovery.
It's been a while. We want to make sure you didn't forget what structure is.
I know.
We follow with strict structure.
Exactly.
Here on the Bad Apples podcast.
We got the whiteboard somewhere.
No, not here. We don't.
Not outside.
I know. I was going to say we didn't even mention that we're sitting outside.
We are, man. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but man, we got a beautiful ambient. It's so nice, kind of fall-ish. Got that nice weather out here.
Fall-ish, dude. It's fall.
Yeah, it's amazing today.
Yeah, man.
I wore a pullover, like light sweater today.
I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now.
You are,
sweatshirt and jeans and my boots.
There you go.
I was gonna buy new boots this season.
Yeah,
but then I've decided, you know what I'm gonna do? Because these boots are really not in bad shape. It's just the insoles stink.
Yeah.
So I'm just getting new insoles.
Just get new insoles, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm thinking green thoughts over here.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna buy cowboy boots.
I got some cowboy boots.
You did.
I did.
You did.
Yep.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's awesome. All right.
So,
off track.
The thing that I'm learning about myself, I think that this summer I learned, number one, well, really, I'm just going to stick with this one. I learned that I need to do fun things.
Yeah, man.
And it's not shameful to do those fun things.
Right.
So sometimes, like, I don't know about you, but sometimes fun things get this rap as, like, not productive.
Oh, for
or
sure.
Selfish.
For sure.
And what I have discovered now here in, the very beginning of September, late August, is that because I didn't do things that feed my soul, like I haven't been on hikes, I haven't played disc golf,
right? I
haven't played pickleball,
right?
I haven't done the podcast. I haven't done things that I enjoy to do.
Yeah.
That are just they're not especially fruitful in any other way other than they just make me happy.
Right, man.
Like I haven't done a lot of that this summer. And I just have discovered that doesn't make me more productive.
Right.
It just makes me more miserable.
Yeah,
and when I'm more miserable, what happens is I respond first in defensiveness towards Emily, and I just respond first in annoyance towards my kids.
Yeah,
and my kids aren't that annoying.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
And my wife doesn't need that from me.
Right.
She needs me to be understanding, and she needs me to be, real.
Deep.
But when I feel like I'm pouring myself out,
yeah,
then I get into this terrible victim mentality. You know, we won't talk what it does to me at the, you know, with work and stuff.
Yeah, man.
But it's all because, and I know it's because I didn't do the things that I know feed my soul.
Wow.
So if you compare where I was at last summer compared to this summer, I'm in, like, coming out of it, I'm not in a better spot. I'm in a much worse spot.
Right.
But it's because I didn't do any of the things that feed who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm somebody who I enjoy having fun. I enjoy good conversation. I enjoy those pieces.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't doing any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was because I thought that I needed to be more productive. And ultimately I wasn't more productive at the end of the road. So I think that's something I learned about myself just through that. And you know, and there's probably some spiritual implications of that as well. But ultimately it's just something about me that I figured out.
You end up pouring from an empty glass.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's not even pouring like in a spiritual sense of like, you know,
sure.
It's just purely having space to recharge and not being embarrassed that like I recharge in this way. So
that's deep, man. It's a very introspective, you know.
Well, it happened because on Saturday, Emily was like, "Hey, you just need to leave. Like, you are miserable. You need to go."
Man.
And so I did. One of the things, weirdly enough, that feeds my soul is shopping.
Okay.
I love to go out and shop and just walk around stores and stuff.
Man,
like
I wish
that.
I was around.
Yeah, but anyway, you were working. You
Saturday?
Oh no, not Saturday.
I was gone.
You were gone. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so I went and did that, and that was good. And it gave me some time to like really think and be like, why am I so miserable?
Yeah,
like, and not even miserable in the sense of like I feel miserable. It's just like I'm miserable towards other people.
Sure,
you know.
Sure.
Why is my first response when my kid doesn't eat her breakfast to be like, what is your deal?
Yeah,
eat the food. You know. Austin has started going to kindergarten now. Ooh. And she has to be at kindergarten at 7:30.
Oh man,
7:30.
Ooh,
that's ridiculous.
That's early.
I got up at 7:30 to make it to high school.
Yeah, I don't remember school being so early back in the day.
That's stupid early. Anyway, so the problem with that though is that I don't like to wake up early.
Yeah,
I'm just not an early riser.
Right.
And so I'm getting her up and going. We need to be out of the house at 7:15, no later than 7:15. Because I don't know if you ever seen the Chatham Elementary drop-off line.
I can imagine
it's
the
stupid.
Same as Rochester.
Oh my gosh,
crazy,
it's crazy. People are getting there like 6:45 to drop off their kids.
Yeah, same.
I'm like, hey guys, like your kids a little more.
It's so stupid. It's so
hang out with them a little longer at home. Anyway, but she has to eat breakfast quickly, otherwise we don't go to school on time.
Yeah.
And so, like this morning, because it's a Tuesday after Labor Day. I get it. I don't want to be awake and eating breakfast either.
Nobody wants to be awake.
But I put her yogurt in front of her, and she goes, I can't eat it. I'm like, why can't you eat it? And she's like, I'm not comfortable. I'm like, I don't care if you're comfortable. Eat the food. If you don't eat the food. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm less miserable today.
I love that.
You know why?
Because you're here.
Because I'm here.
Yeah, man.
I'm sitting outside. It's not stupid hot.
We're back at it,
and
bro.
we're back at it. Okay, all right. That was a long answer to a very short question.
I love that, man.
Okay,
I love that.
Okay, so
that's a lot deeper than mine.
What do you learn about yourself? What's God teaching you about God, or about you, or your relationship with Him? What's God teaching you?
Oh boy, let me try to put it into. I tried to take some notes because I feel like God's been doing a lot, and I wanted to kind of try to articulate it. I feel like God has been teaching me, well, kind of going back a little bit. Like I felt like at the beginning of the year, God was really teaching me how to be still. Then from that, He was really kind of teaching me what rest looks like. And because I just really feel like, my soul needed that. My body needed that. But now I just feel like He's kind of teaching me what it looks like to tend to this garden, and like what it means to have this garden of the soul and this garden of our hearts, and what it means to allow Him to tend to the garden in our hearts. And I feel like that we can tend. I've just kind of been looking at life as a garden.
Okay.
I feel like I've been kind of looking at my relationship with God as a garden.
All right.
And how am I tending to the people in my life? How am I tending to the relationships in my life? And it's kind of all going back to, how am I allowing God to tend to my garden? And if I allow Him to till the soil of my garden and get things out that don't need to be there, and prepare that ground for what he wants to do and how he wants to tend it, then from that, I can then tend to the garden that's in my life, the garden of relationships and the garden, all that. So I just feel like I'm kind of in this place where I'm learning, hey, I'm allowing God to really till this ground in my heart and get out all of these things that have been buried in this soil for so many years.
Yeah.
And I'm letting him till that out. And now I'm at a place where I feel like he's really been planting stuff over the last few years. And that fruit is kind of coming out and bearing a little bit. And it's because one of the things that I was talking about, and it just really hit me, I just feel like I'm doing things different in my life, even in relationships, that I look back on my life and I'm like, man, I really didn't do that. I really sucked at that. But now it's different, and it's not like I'm trying to do it. It's just I'm doing it. And I feel like I'm doing it from a place that I have allowed God to come and love me. I have allowed God in, and I have allowed him to love me, and I've received that love. And because of that, I can now give love.
Yeah.
Because I've figured out how to be loved. And, so I think that's just kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier for me to now, cause now it's like, oh wow, God, I'm letting you come in and rid me of all this stuff that I've been carrying. I'm finally letting you come in and say, hey, you know what? This is done.
Yeah.
I freed you from this. This is who you are in me now. Let me love you.
Yeah.
And I feel like now I'm letting him love me. And from that, I now know how to love. Like, I'm not saying, I'm perfect at it, but I'm saying this, like that fruit is bearing.
Yeah. Right.
And I felt like I've always kind of looked at bearing fruit and as, hey, how am I bearing fruit in my life? And I've always looked at it from a ministry perspective,
right?
From a pulpit positional perspective.
Yeah.
And now I'm in a place in my life where, how am I tending to the relationships? How am I tending to normal day-to-day things?
Sure.
And how is that bearing fruit? And that is bearing fruit. And now I really understand, like, it doesn't have to be from a positional standpoint or a positional view of, hey, what are you doing with pulpit ministry? What are you doing with ministry in general? What are you doing with what you say,
Sure.
what you do? Do you have 10,000 followers? That's not really fruit.
Right.
Like, what am I doing with the garden that's in my backyard?
Yeah. No, and I think too, something that you just made me think about is so often we think about like the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control.
Yep.
There's a lot of that that it's easy to make the connection outwardly.
Yes.
You love one another.
Yes.
You're patient with one another. You have peace in your relationships. But there's an internal piece of that as well.
Yeah.
Like where each of those things you're realizing. Like one of the fruits of the Spirit is you know that you are loved.
Right.
Like, yes, love is like, it's not to give you to write off the other's side of all of those fruits.
Right.
It's not important. Definitely is. But there's something internal that happens.
Right.
And so often we focus on the external because that's what we get feedback on.
Right.
In our interpersonal relationships. And man, to be honest with you, if I can be real with you here on the podcast, I was a little bit worried when you told me you weren't working this summer.
Right.
I was like, man, like I was worried about you. That's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Is a lot harder than people give it credit for.
Very much.
And so I was worried about you.
Yeah.
And man, my worries were totally misplaced because I watched God work in your life and help you learn a balance of rest
it's
and
been
work.
amazing.
And like, you've read more than you've ever read.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to talk about that.
Yeah, man.
I've been watching God work in your life all summer.
Yeah.
And
it's been very surprising because just even staying at home and just doing nothing, like, like, what do they say? An idle mind is the devil's playground, right? And it's just, when you don't have anything to do, sometimes you just, like, you get in your head and you get bored and you get, and it just wasn't that. It was just, there was a couple days I was bored, but then I just went and did something.
Maybe you were supposed to be a monk.
That would be beautiful. I would love it. Please, Lord. Well, no, Kia wouldn't like that.
No, she wouldn't. No,
Can't be married.
No, but I don't know. I think about that, and I'm like, man, I would love 3 weeks off.
Yeah,
That's even conceptually, I'd love 3 weeks off. I'd probably make it like a week and a half and be like, dude, I'm gonna die.
Right.
I need to go out and do something.
I was ready for work by the end of the summer.
Yeah, and that's good. That you needed that.
Yeah,
you definitely needed that.
I was so ready to go back, and it was like when I hit it, I was like, man, all right, let's go.
Yeah, that's good.
I was ready.
I think what God's been teaching me, and I talked about it a little bit, and I had the opportunity to preach, like 1 week, and then I had a week off, and then I got to preach again.
Yeah, you did.
And we were talking about the marks of discipleship, and it's something that gets reused a lot at Hope because we believe it's important. I'm glad that we reuse it. It's a good thing. But one of the things I got to articulate in that was something I noticed while we were at camp. And it's ironically our most listened to episode is the with episode.
It is. It is.
And where we talked about this idea of life with God, not for God or under God or whatever, but like with God and partnering with God in ministry. And it was just a constant theme for me throughout the summer. And I have like a love-hate relationship with camps and trips. I love them because they're so good. And and even as an adult on this trip where it's totally not for me. It's not for me, but God teaches me things through it.
Sure.
And I love it for those moments. I hate being away from home. But I love those moments, and I love those opportunities to connect with students, but also to just hear from the Lord in those moments. And the thing that the Lord was teaching me is like, number one, this isn't all about you. Yeah. Like you get to be a partner with me in this,
right?
And that's really special, but it's not ultimate. God's ultimate. Like he loves those kids more than I do.
Yeah,
he's going to be. Yeah, he has a mind for them longer than I will. Like his memory for the students in our ministry is much longer than mine.
Wow. And
like he cares about them more, and he's going to be there more, and he's going to invest more, and he gave his son for them.
Come on, man.
And so his love for them is deeper than what I have to muster, but I still get to partner with him in this, and it's beautiful. And it's a grace, it's a mercy to get to be a part of that.
Right.
But the other piece of that is like, with it not being all about me, is that like the trust that God is ultimately in this beyond the effort that I'm putting in, or even the effort my volunteers are putting in. Because at this point, I've been in youth ministry for like, I don't know, almost 14 years.
Man,
and so
veteran.
I know it's really weird to be like the old guy in the room.
Yeah.
I'm not quite the oldest of the old guys in the room, but I'm definitely looking around being like, dude, when did youth pastors get so young?
Yeah. Hey, anyway, by the way, by the time this comes out, you'll be another year older.
Yeah, it's true. I'll be 33 years old.
33, man. Larry Bird. It's your legendary year.
Anyway,
sorry,
I had 2 fingers. I meant to do 3. Anyway, but yeah, I think that what was I saying? Not about me.
Oldest guy in the room.
Yeah. So I think that what's important about that is that so often you can get jaded.
Absolutely.
And if anybody that's like, and it's not just like a pastor, like anybody who's ever invested any amount of time in anyone, hoping that they would give their life to Jesus, they'd walk with the Lord. If you're that person, most likely you've got a story or two that make you just a little bit jaded.
Absolutely.
And so
100%.
The problem with that is like there's so many times where I go to an event or something, and all the kids, they stand up for the things, they make decisions and all these other things, and there's a part of me that's like really rejoicing for them, but then I don't, like, my heart doesn't let me like fully rejoice, because I watch a lot of those kids stand up that are nowhere near Jesus right now.
Sure.
Like, right. And so it's like, okay, all right, yeah, can't buy, but
it's real.
That's true, but there's this other piece that if I really believe that I'm in partnership with God, He's not abandoned them.
Come on, man.
And He's still there, and man, He's still doing a work.
Yeah.
And there's a good chance. There's a good chance that someday that kid that stood up at that camp will not remember my name, but they'll give their life back to Jesus because they found the bottom and they remembered what it was to be loved by Christ.
That's beautiful.
And, you know, if my name's not attached to that or what I did or even that they remember that it was at CIY, I don't really care. Because ultimately it is something where God is working through that. And so it was a reminder, like, so we know conceptually that we're doing with God. We are being with God. Our lives are a partnership with God. But this summer was like a lab for me to experience that.
Wow.
And it happened at camp when I'm looking around at these kids and I'm like, man, in 8 years, I won't know them.
Man.
Like, I just won't know them.
Yeah.
And I know them pretty well. I've been at Hope for almost 5 years.
Right.
And so I feel like I have a pretty good relationship with a lot of the kids, and I know who they are, and they know who I am, and we've built up this thing. They've watched me, like, you know, almost pee my pants laughing at Chris Farley. And so there's those different pieces. And so I feel like there's that bond there. But ultimately, in like 8 years, their lives are going to look totally different, and I'm not going to know them. I'm not going to know who they are.
Wow.
But God does, and he's with them in that. And if I truly believe that I'm with God in this, if the things that we talked about, what was it? 2 Januaries ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. If those things are true.
Yeah, man.
That he's a partner. I'm partnering with him, and he's in the long game, even if I'm not. And so I have to trust that. And then, you know, that that's even beautiful. Came, and what was awesome, what was super awesome about that whole story of with God and all of that was when we were in Minnesota and we're getting ready to leave these kids that we've been doing VBS with that are on the reservation.
Yeah.
And our kids are a wreck. I mean, our students are a wreck. They're super sad about leaving these kids. Yeah. And they're worried about them and all of these pieces and stuff. And, and it's awesome. Just as an outside looking in kind of guy, I'm like, you guys don't understand, but this is my life with you.
It is.
And this is not just my life with you, but this is Ashton's life with you. This is the other small group leaders. It's their life with you. Absolutely. Is that we are trusting that we're in partnership with God, and ultimately he loves you so much that he won't let you slip through the cracks when you're outside of our reach. Man. And so, and the thing that I got to tell those kids is like, you got to trust, and it's so hard, but you got to trust that God loved these kids more than you did before you got here, and he will continue to love them more than you did when you leave. Wow. And maybe, just maybe, his ambition for them is greater than yours,
of course,
and his glory will win out. And so that's the hope of that, and it was just cool to be a part of that.
That's
summer.
Beautiful.
This whole summer was just a testament to that. And Emily put the ball on the tee right before move. I talked about it in a sermon. But she, challenged me with that. Just like, hey, just remember, because I was stressing about all the details and the whatnot.
Sure.
She's like, remember, this is with God,
man. And
I was like, okay,
dude, thanks. It's an abiding. It's how we abide.
Yeah,
and that's another thing that I just feel like it's weird that you've been dealing with that in that way, in being with God, and I've been dealing with looking at what it's like to tend or to abide with him, and the change that has been in my heart has reflected out to my hands. And it's like what I'm doing now is a reflection of the heart. Like, so it's just a beautiful abiding that we have found, and it's just it's a journey, man.
Well, and it's funny, it's like, I don't know if this is, like, I can't speak for you, but for me, I'm envious of your, like, this idea of I'm talking about partnership with God is what I learned.
Yeah.
Like, in the ministry side of things.
Right.
In the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you're talking about with God, in the presence of God.
Yeah.
Tending to what God's doing in your life.
Yeah.
And I'm envious of that. And I hope that in this next season,
absolutely,
that's something that I'm able to cultivate, is this.
Absolutely.
This with God in the private realm, so that I have a better sense of the one who's with me in the work I'm doing, and really I'm ultimately with him in the work that he's doing.
Absolutely, man.
And so, but that mindset needs to shift, and it will only come through that personal relationship. And
absolutely,
so I'm hoping for that as things slow down.
Yeah, man.
Things calm down.
I had to, like, I feel like I've been on this journey, and it kind of goes with what, it kind of goes with everything. Like, I feel like, before leading up to, all of the stuff I went through in 2020, 2021, I was so presence driven that I was just like, I didn't know what it was like to be word centered. And then when I went through everything, it's like I wanted to be word centered, and I forgot what it was like to be presence driven. And then there was just this kind of balance or marrying of how, like, the presence aspect of it and then the word aspect of it kind of came together, and it was all just, you know, this beautiful transformation. You know, I don't know where I was going with that, but there you go. Take it. You know,
I love it. Hey, I did just think of something in the moment. Yeah. A question that, like, we need to do one more summary of the summer.
Okay.
One more.
Dude,
what's your coffee game been like this summer?
Oh, bro. Let me tell you.
I mean, the people want to know.
It's been cheap.
We're making coffee. Oh,
I've went full cheap coffee over the summer because I was home every day.
Okay.
You're
drinking too much coffee.
I would take Kia to work every day.
Okay.
So I would go pick her up at her house. And so I would either usually have her coffee.
Stop at Starbucks.
Oh, yeah, some days.
Oh, my gosh, I caught him.
Some days I did.
He stopped at Starbucks.
But I was making so much coffee, and I wanted it to last me throughout the day.
Yeah.
So I was getting canned coffee, you know. But I found Black Rifle has a 2-pound canister.
Yeah, they do.
At Walmart.
Oh.
Bro.
I've seen it at Shields.
It was really good coffee.
Yeah.
Like just to be canned coffee, ground coffee,
right.
It was really good.
Yeah, Black Rifle's not bad.
Yeah,
pretty good stuff. And there's I mean, like, I think that people get kind of a misunderstanding with us.
Yeah.
And it's like, are we better than Folgers? Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
And you are too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who you are too. Even if you put a bunch of creamer in it.
Yeah.
You're better than Folgers.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that are just a tick above Folgers.
That's true.
In price.
Mm-hmm.
But 14 ticks above Folgers in quality.
Yeah.
And whether that's the can of Black Rifle, which might be a little bit too rich for your blood, but Caribou coffee's great.
Caribou coffee is great.
And it's cheap. Cameron's coffee is great.
Yeah.
And it's cheap. Now, one of the Sam's Club ones, they had like a springy kind of mix.
Okay.
That was really good that we used in our automatic machine at home.
Mm-hmm. You told me that.
And so then I got their, like, they call it the Sierra blend of coffee.
Okay.
And I was like, man, it's the same company. It's probably the same thing. It's just branded for fall. No, it sucked.
Oh, man.
It was bad. It was bad coffee.
Now, I have recently went back to Free Reign.
Yeah, you
because I wanted that. I wanted the better coffee. But
you knew the podcast was coming back. You knew it. You're like, I can't be talking about.
Bro, I tried this new one called Mustano, or I don't know how to pronounce it.
Try again.
From Free Reign, delicious. Okay, so I tried this different one called Branded, and it was coffee with a kick. Okay, and I'm like, well, all right, I got to try this. I read the description, but I had no idea what I was in for.
Yeah.
It is cinnamon. It's not really flavored. It's just got a hint of cinnamon.
Okay.
And cayenne pepper.
Is it good?
It's good, but it really burns.
Oh.
It literally kicks you with spice.
You got any extra?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm taking that to the office.
I was going to give you some. Dude, I'm like, man, this is odd. And I gave it to Kia, and she's like, why is this spicy? I'm like, well, there's cayenne pepper in it. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah.
You said that wrong. You got to say it like the meme.
Yeah, what?
The why is it spicy meme.
Why don't I never seen it?
You've never seen it?
No, I have not seen this. But yeah, so I've tried that, and I've got coffee from Kenya that our good friends Brian Mathis brought back from their mission trip.
Oh, yeah. Brian gave me some of that, too. It's so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
So good.
It's really good. So, with the podcast being back, some stuff's about to happen.
Oh, yeah.
You know it's about to happen. So
yeah. Now, Emily, she got me so it was our 10-year anniversary this summer.
Yeah, congrats.
Thanks, man. So for our anniversary, she got me a Fellow grinder. Oh. And I've wanted a good electric grinder that has like the dial and all the stuff. And so she got me this grinder, and I love it. It's life-changing.
Dude, I just heard the Holy Spirit say that one of our listeners is going to sow a seed of a grinder like that for me.
You're shameless.
Thank you, Father, in advance.
Yeah. Anyway, I got a fellow grinder, and man, it's awesome because I've been using like a crank grinder. And if you want to change any grind settings on it, you got to take the whole thing apart, adjust the dial, and put it all back together and hope that you got it right. This is great because like Fellow's got this easy number system, even on the bottom of the lid where you like the bean hopper. It's got like all of the settings that you need for different brewing methods.
It's amazing.
It's fantastic.
That's amazing.
And so Emily also got me a subscription to CXT Coffee.
Yes, you did.
And I've been having their Ethiopian coffee. And what's great is that I try it with the Chemex, and I try it with the AeroPress. And then I'm like, it was pretty good in the AeroPress. Let me change up the grind setting on it. And I just like turn a little dial. I'm like, that's even better. Or, that's a little bit weaker. And, it's like, I'm almost a full-on snob.
Dude, come on. You're already there.
Come on.
You're there, man.
But I'm not. I still have a Hamilton Beach or Hamilton Bay or whatever electric kettle. I need to improve that.
Yeah, you do.
So once I get a better kettle, maybe a better scale.
You still have an electric kettle. I don't even have that.
I know. You're way behind.
I bought one from Target, and then I was just kind of I was in a mood where I didn't want to spend money, and I took it back.
I get it.
Yeah, man. I can't. Well, actually, I didn't take it back. I canceled it.
Whoa.
Yeah, before I went and got it.
Well, you've got an AeroPress now.
I do. I don't use it. Yeah, Kia's like, man, you don't even use it. I did use it.
Why don't you use it? It's great.
I've been really just. I've really been lazy with coffee lately. I really have. Like, it's been super like cheap. Just want a whole pot of coffee. I almost brought Dad's bun home. Because I bought him first of all, I bought him a brand new bun 2 years ago. Oh, yeah. It was the top bun, okay? Yeah. He don't use it. I'm like, he goes back to his Cuisinart. Yeah. And I'm like, come on, Dad. Like, this is
what he knows.
This is top of the line bun.
Well, you got to be careful because if he's been leaving it on this entire time, that thing's toast.
What is the bun?
The bun.
No. It's in the box.
He never got out of the box?
No. He may have one time.
Come on.
But he put it back
Cody's
in the box.
Dad?
I'm like, man, Dad, I bought you it was nice too.
Yeah.
Now that I remember, he did make a pot of coffee once, dude. 3 minutes tops. That thing was, and it was beautiful. It was amazing. And I'm like, that would be great for my mornings, just making a bun coffee and just. So
did you bring it home?
I didn't. I forgot it.
Oh,
but I've been in that. I've been in a very convenient, fast, easy mood of coffee right now. But I'm going to get back to it.
You better,
because I'm resting and I'm Sabbathing. So I got to get back to that.
Exactly, for sure.
I've been hitting up Incredibly Delicious every Saturday morning for my Sabbath, and they've been making me really good coffee. Shout out to Patrick. And
you been getting the chocolate croissants?
No,
dude, their chocolate croissants are next level.
I'm sure they're amazing. I've been getting their coffee cakes.
Oh, really?
Which are, I was never a big coffee cake guy, and I was like, I'm gonna try this. Amazing.
Dude, I love coffee cake.
Yeah, man.
It might be my favorite kind of cake.
Dude, they have this Austrian apple coffee cake.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
I had an apple croissant today from your least favorite place, Starbucks. It's so good. Yeah. It was so good.
I had Starbucks yesterday.
Yeah, did you?
I got a cappuccino.
Okay.
And it was
dude, just get a pumpkin spice.
Nah.
Just be basic with the rest of us.
There was pumpkin in it.
Was there?
Yeah, I put some pumpkin in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a pumpkin spice latte. You're just calling it cappuccino.
Oh, I mean, I don't know what's the difference in a cappuccino and a latte.
See, that's the other problem. Just get the pumpkin spice latte.
It's good. I'll give them that.
It's so good.
The one thing they do well is their pumpkin spice latte.
Listen, nobody goes to Starbucks for coffee. Everybody goes for Starbucks drinks.
That's true. And
if you just separate it from coffee.
I try. I try. And I never get their coffee. So.
Well, my hope and prayer for you is by the end of this season.
Thank you, Father. I receive this.
Is that you will finally
get something good about
find
coffee.
Joy at Starbucks.
No.
Not just be content, but find some real joy and fulfillment.
Speaking of joy, it's almost Christmas season.
Oh, jeez. With that, I think that we should leave our listeners.
Tell them what they need to hear.
You tell them what they need to hear. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
You don't. It's been so long.
God loved us first. God loves us best. And God loves us most. This is the Bad Apples Podcast.
Thanks for listening, y'all.
Peace out.